It's the latest exhibit at the Central Library in downtown Los Angeles, and one that uncovers the art of storytelling through 21 diverse collections. 21 collections, every object has a story, takes us through the unique stories that are revealed through the accumulation of everyday seemingly objects.
It's really a celebration of the storytelling power of things that people collect, this idea that when people bring things together, they're giving them a new life. We wanted to highlight the role of the public library as an important collecting institution in our society.
LaRue visited over 600 institutions to find these 21 collections. One of the things you won't miss is the life-size walnut elephant, built entirely out of walnuts. This elephant became symbolic of LA and toured internationally for at least 30 years.
This is actually a recreation of a historic exhibition that was launched by the LA Chamber of Commerce way back in 1893 for the Chicago World's Fair.
There is so much to see here, but one of my favorites is typewriters, which features the collection of Tom Hanks typewriters. Now, did you know that he owns 300, of which 7 are being featured here, and these were used as inspiration for his first book titled Uncommon Type. Another collection is comprised of the dioramas from the African American Museum of Miniatures that share stories of Black history and culture.
Which is a project by an artist named Karen Collins. And she was a school teacher. She still lives in Compton with her family. And in the early 1990s, her oldest son, Eddie, was sentenced to 167 years in prison on gang-related charges. And she became very depressed and was looking for a new direction in her life. So as a teacher, she had observed that many of the stories of African Americans were not being taught, not being preserved in traditional educational outlets. And so she took it upon herself to create these scenes of history in these shadow box dioramas to be able to share these proud moments as well as the struggles on the path to freedom and equality within the Black community and the greater American community.
People collect so many things, but candy wrappers is not something I would have necessarily thought of. And in this unique collection, the wrappers date all the way back to the 1930s.
This is a collection by a woman named Darlene Lacey, and when she was growing up in Southern California in the 1970s, she saw all her older friends had collections of things like beer bottles, and she thought that was very cool and wanted to create a collection of her own. But all she could afford at that time was candy. And so she started with a piece called Nice Mice. I think it was some kind of marshmallow candy. She liked the box. She didn't think it would be around forever. And it has grown since then.
From pencils to pictures, birds' eggs to straw horses, I can bet there's something that will pique your interest. In fact, I can say these truly are 21 unique collections that will get your mind wondering about how and why we collect things.